What's up, Mountain Tough? Coach Nick here, and we're going to discuss one of our favorite upper body strength movements today, and that is the barbell strict press. We like to put this into our programs at least once a week because not only is it going to build some upper body strength, but also challenges the core stabilization. So we really have to learn how to brace and how to control that position to be able to press that overhead motion. Sometimes we even prefer doing this over the bench press just because out in real life we're going to be pressing overhead, reaching overhead more so than we are laying down, pressing out horizontally like that. So we want to go over first is how to do the strict press, and then some issues that we see with the strict press that can lead to some issues at the low back, issues at the shoulder, and how you guys can fix those today. So when we're doing the strict press, first thing we want to start with is our grip on the bar. We want our hands just outside shoulder width position there. So we're going to get that right there. We're going to have our elbows straight down. What we want to start with is a good brace position. So you really want to squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads, and then we're going to pull our belly button in and our rib cage down towards that belly button. From here, all we're going to do is pull our chin out of the way and press straight up to the ceiling. As we come back down, we're going to pull our chin back, pull that bar straight back down to the shoulder here, and then we can rack that back up. So one of the biggest things that we see in the strict press, and you guys may have felt this if it's something you've done before, is a lot of tension in the low back. And usually that's a result of people really not having a stable base. So when they go to press overhead, it ends up turning into an incline press and get a lot of extension in the low back. So how we can fix that is really being diligent with engaging the glutes, engaging the quads, and then like I said, locking the ribs down towards your belly button. And then as we press up, those ribs are gonna wanna flare open. You guys gotta fight to keep the rib cage down. So that's gonna keep a good stable position. That's gonna help us lift more weight, feel better on our low back, and ultimately get more out of the strict press. So just to review that one more time, hands shoulder width apart, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the quads, locking the rib cage down, and then pressing straight up. Good, so as you can see, I'm not extending back and losing that brace, keeping everything stacked as I press overhead. The only other thing that we typically see with the strict press is if you have stiffness in the lats that prevents you from getting into that overhead position, that puts a lot of strain on the front of the shoulder. So that can be another reason why people tend to roll back. So if you are starting with that stabilization, getting the glutes, abs engaged, and then you still find you can't get all the way overhead, well, that's maybe a sign that you need to assess your shoulder mobility. You can kind of address that through some of the products we have. Mountain Movement, Mobility Dailies are gonna cover that as well. So if you find that that's an issue, go ahead and jump into those products that we have as well. So that's a strict press, guys. It's one of our favorite upper body movements. If you have issues with it, use those tips to create that stability, to create a more powerful overhead press. You guys are gonna see that frequently in our programs, so get used to it and get the most out of that movement that you can.